Honestly, Jeff, the fish, you can't do
Stop videoing now.
But on reflection, they felt that 50 years of marriage was a good thing to celebrate.
She hasn't got any notes.
Thank you everyone for coming today to make this a happy day for Terry and me, especially those who've come a long way. Frank and June, who've come from Nelson. Case, who's come, Case, I didn't really think you'd come. But I invited you because, you know, I know how things are with Louise, so I'm really thrilled that you're here. Nolan and Pat, I'm just so delighted to have you here. Those from Hibiscus Coast, all of you, I just love you all and thank you so much for coming. Now, you know, I love my family and I'm really proud of you. Here we go, but I just want to tell you something, that it was when Shannon was born, and for the first time, we had 7 children, this was our 7th one, but this was the first time that we had to do a baptism program for Shannon. And we were in Hibiscus Coast Parish, and you'll remember Elma Shishka. Elma took the baptism program, and we were in it. And as the program was ending, she said, "What is it that you wish for your children?" And you know, as good parents, you want your children to grow up to be good citizens, honest, hard-working, good neighbours, to marry somebody really nice and compatible and have a family, all that sort of thing. And I was sort of thinking, what do I really wish for my children? What do I want for my children? And I thought that, and I had to vocalise it because it was going around the room and I had to have my turn. And I thought, what I wanted for my children was I wanted them to know God. Not just in here, in their head. I wanted them to know God in their heart, and I wanted them to have God as their best friend. And that's why I'm proud of you today, because I know all of you. Here we go. I know all of you have God as your best friend, and that's what I'm so proud of. And as I've always said to everybody, when you die, when you leave this earth, you can't take a jolly thing with you, you can't take your clothes, you can't take your money, your house, anything. But the thing that can go with you into eternal life is your children. And that's why look after your children. They're the most precious things you've got.
I think it was a mistake having women speaking. Look, thank you all for coming. It's been a real joy to have you all here. One and all. I won't mention names because I might forget somebody, but you all know that we're so delighted to have you, especially my own family. Talking about the children, I want to thank the children for being our joy, because the old saying is that you can take a horse to water but you can't make it drink. So when it comes to your faith or your beliefs or anything like that, you can tell your children about it, but in the final analysis, it's their decision. It's their decision to make. We all have a free will, and it's very important that they're allowed to exercise that free will. You lead them, point them in the right direction, and it's their choice. If they come unstuck and they've got the wisdom to come back and speak to you, you can lead them back onto the right track. But I can truthfully say that our children, for the most part, have responded to our love for them by returning their love, by being obedient in most cases. And, oh well, anyway, and this is a great joy, and it's a great joy because free will, of course, is a freedom that we take for granted. And I just want to quote you something that I think is important. It was given to me many years ago. Freedom in its fullest sense is a legacy of true love. Willed to us by God our Father as a gift to us, His children. A gift wrapped in the infinite scope of the eternal love, which is forgiving, forbearing, forever and for everyone. And that's what we try to teach our children, to use their free will wisely, to love strong, to help generously, and to be obedient to the call of their Father to come back to Him. Because it's like releasing a bird, they say. If it comes back to you, it's yours. If it doesn't, it never was. And our children are with us all the time. They come back to us. So thank you, children, and thank you everybody for coming. I thought she was the most Catholic I'd ever met.
I am in church all the time.
Yes, she was in church all the time, like the princess.
Because she wanted to be a nun because she
I'm pleased you brought that up because, you know, I'm really basically quite shy. I'm a shy person. And I have to cover it up with saying some silly things at times. And I suppose when I met Annette, I was prompted by my elder brother to ask her to go out with me. And I couldn't get around to it. And I won't go into all the details, it'll take too long, but I was working on the job. She actually prayed that we would get this contract so I could be there. And I didn't know that if I knew it, I'd be much more secure in what I was going to do. But I started by taking her home, because I prayed that she went. And then brother said, "No, when are you going to have to take her home?" And I said, "I'll get around it one day." He said, "Well, where would you take it to?" I said, I'll take it to the Sacred Heart College Ball. It's coming up in June or July. And he said, "Well, see you there." And the day drifted by and I didn't get around to it. And then finally, it was about a week to go before the Sacred Heart College Ball, and he said, "Have you asked me to go over to yet?" And I said, no, I'll get to it. So one day I was building up strength and I thought I might be able to ask her, and then he comes along and he said to Annette, "Don't let him go until he invites you to the Sacred Heart College Ball." Well, I kind of strangled him. Getting back, I got off the subject yet, but getting back to this business of faith and Annette, we got to know one another quite well, and I felt comfortable in her presence. I wasn't shy anymore. And I thought, well, this is going really well. And she turned around and she said, "You know, I was actually thinking of becoming a nun."
Could have been a thing.
And I was really blown away. Oh, God. You know, I've fallen in love with her now. She's telling me she wants to become a nun. Well, anyway, I did some quick talking and I had a bit of information and she decided not to. But getting back to the business about information, one of the things Annette said, she loved her Catholic faith, but she didn't know how to defend it. If people attacked her, she got angry, but she didn't know what to say to combat what they were saying. Well, she found the right man. Best in Auckland. And I don't want to be too proud that I won. And there was one crowd, the communists they were, and we battled and argued for 4.5 days. Every morning tea time, lunchtime, afternoon tea time, and you name it. And they finally got sick of me. I mean, you can't get sick of me if I keep talking. And they said, I'll use bad language, they said, bugger off, we've had enough of you. Well, that was good enough for me because I was the winner. And I said, oh, well, that's all very well, I said, but I just want to ask you one question before I depart. If you knew you were going to die in 3 hours' time, would you be so convinced there is no God? Ah! Just laughed. Ah! What a load of rubbish, God. What makes the slightest bit different? They arrived at work next day. They were late. They didn't have their usual car. And I was, why is ghost? I said, oh, what's happened? Where's your car? We were nearly killed last night. 3 hours. 3 hours from the time I said to them. I said, what happened? We can't explain it. We were driving along Western Street Road, dead straight road. There was no other cars near us. And for no reason whatsoever, the car went out of control. It rolled over and over and over. It's a write-off, and I don't know how we weren't killed. Well, I put up the challenge, and God answered it. I didn't have to say a word to that man. I didn't say, I told you so. I didn't have to say a word. And about 3 years later, one of them came rushing up to me, Easter show, running up and he said, Terry, he said, I just want to tell you how pleased and how happy I was with those discussions we used to have. I thought they were arguments. So, I believe that if you believe in God, you've got to be able to understand and express Him in a way that people can understand Him. There's no good having blind faith, as it were. You've got to know what the love of God is. You've got to know what the love of God means. It's very challenging love. It's not a pussycat love. It's not love when you're not having love. It's love that challenges you through your whole life. It challenges your integrity. Where do you really mean? What do you really stand for? And that's what I try to teach my children. And when I had Annette, she left it up. And because she was a good Catholic. We did the first 9 Fridays. We did the first 5 Saturdays. We went to Benedict, we went to Mass, we went to benediction, holy hours, you name it. She was strong in that way, and we just blended together. I could strengthen her faith by understanding her faith, and she strengthened my faith by the love that she has for her. Thank you, mate.
I don't think I need to say any more. Actually, this went out night quite good. You see, I'd sort of prompt that, and he prompts me. But I think that's a beautiful intro. But no, I've got to say thank you very much. I think Dad's amply demonstrated what I was talking about. So between the parents and the education that I received at St Mary's College and Rossmany College, it was first class. So thank you for all that. Goodness knows how much it cost you back in those days. But